Hello and welcome to this overview of Microsoft PowerPoint 2010. In this tutorial I'll be going through the process of creating a simple slideshow with text and images, applying the animations, applying formatting and completing the presentation. So let's get started. When you first open PowerPoint 2010 you'll be presented with this screen here, and on the left hand side of the screen you'll see where your slides appear in thumbnail form. And on the right side there's the main screen with the slide for you to create your content. PowerPoint has helpfully put on a title slide for us to begin, so I'll make use of that and just click where it says click to add title, and I will put the title of my presentation on, which is the Sweet Store, and it'll be a promotional presentation for this particular business. And I have the option of adding a subtitle to the main title, and I'll do that. I'll click where it says click to add subtitle, and I'm going to type in tasty products at great prices. Now if ever you make a spelling mistake, as I've done there, easy to do, you just use standard editing keys on the keyboard. I just use the back delete key there and you can correct your error. So there we are, that's my text entered for the first slide. I can click away to deselect all the boxes, and that shows me how it will more or less appear on the screen. And I'm simply going to add now a new slide. So just come up to where it says new slide, click that option, and we get a new slide template. So I'll click where it says click to add title, and we're going to type in the title of my second slide, which is Awesome Donuts. I'll even put an exclamation mark on the end of that. And I'm going to add some text now to the body of the slide, so click in the second text box where it says click to add text, and we're going to put in some information about the donuts. Say they're freshly made, that we have 5 varieties. And what I'm going to do here is when I press the enter key, you see the bullet points appearing as I press the enter key. This time I'm going to tab one time to create a second level, and I'm going to put my 5 varieties on this second level. So a plain chocolate, custard, jam, and finally banana. I've never had a banana donut, but I'm sure they're tasty. Now when I press the enter key, it stays at the second level, and what I can do now is a keyboard shortcut Shift and Tab, and that will take me back to the top level bullet, and I can carry on now with my next feature. 5 donuts per box, very generous. Again, press the enter key, and finally one more line, giving the customer some control. Now, I've made a mistake there, so just use the arrow keys to come to that word, delete the C, put the X in there because it should have said choose your own mix of donuts. Now I could leave the spelling errors in there and just do a complete spell check at the end, but I'll correct as I go for this one. So there's my second slide completed. I want a new one, so again just click the new slide button, and you can see how easy it is, how it builds up. There's a new slide. Again, it has the same template. So I'll create the content for the third slide, so just click again in the title area and add the title there. Click down in the second area where it says click to add text, and we'll add the bullet points now. Homemade recipe, 4 great flavors. And again for the third line I'm going to tab in to create a second level bullet point. So let's add some flavors. Strawberry, what else should we add? Vanilla, chocolate, I'll correct the errors in a second, and finally mints. So now I'll correct my errors. Again, just use the arrow keys to come back to my strawberry error. Just wants to be R-A-W, and chocolate, an I is sneaked in there, so we'll delete that. So press the N key, come to the end of the line, and press enter, and again I want to go to a top level bullet, so Shift and Tab takes me back. You can also promote and demote bullets on the toolbar. If I come up to the Home toolbar, and somewhere in the middle you'll see the 2 buttons in the paragraph section. One is to increase list level, so if I click on that you'll see what happens as I click it. It moves in, and reverse it takes it back to the top level. So into my final line on this one, and we'll say buy 2, get a third free. There you go. Okay, so there's slide number 3. Another one to create. So again, just click on New Slide, and you can see in the thumbnail section on the left how the show is building up. So we've now got the 4th slide to create, and this one will be Thirst Quenching Soda. So there's my title for slide number 4. Click below to enter the bullet points, and here we'll have 3 great flavours. Now I've just forgot to put the capital G on there, so again this is the arrow keys, and just edit as I go. Press the enter key, again the tab key just to bring it to a 2nd level bullet, and we will have again strawberry, lemon and apple. Enter key again. I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut Shift and Tab to go to the higher level. We will say that our sodas contain natural ingredients, and that they're available in small, medium and large bottles. There we are. So I'm going to add one more slide now, and this will be my final slide. This will be the closing slide. Now here I'm actually going to modify this a bit because I don't want this template, so I'm going to come back to Layout, and I will choose the blank slide option. I do want to add text to the slide, so I've got to click on the Insert button. And in the text section on the Insert toolbar, you'll see the text box. Simply click on that and click on the slide. Don't have to do anything special here apart from type my content, so I'm simply going to type great offers in store. Oops. Then enter every day. So there's the content, and I could format it now, but I'm going to leave it for now. You can actually move this any way you want to by simply clicking and dragging on the edges of that box. You can also rotate it. You see there's a small green blob, and I can click and drag and rotate that, which maybe I will later on, we'll see. Just for now we'll leave it as it is. And there's my content. Now I can just quickly run through the presentation. On the keyboard you have the page up and page down keys. You can also have the arrow keys. So I'm going to use the page down key to move down through the presentation, slide by slide. Just check the content's okay. I can also use the up arrow key. Does the same thing, up and down arrow keys. So you can use up and down arrow keys, page up, page down, just to scroll through your presentation and just check it's okay. The next thing I'm going to do is format the presentation, and there's many ways of applying formatting in PowerPoint, and to go through them all would probably take hours, which I'm sure you don't want to spend. So I'm going to do it really quickly and apply one of PowerPoint's built-in designs. So to do that, go to the Design tab, and immediately you'll see this large section that has themes. And if I just move my mouse across those themes, what you'll see is that as I move to the more interesting ones, the formatting changes to give me a quick preview of the colours and the text styles that are incorporated with that style or with that theme. So you've got many more. If I click on that little double arrow there at the end, you'll see there's a huge range. Now the problem here, of course, is if I put the mouse over, I can't really see the full preview, but I'll get a rough idea. And at any point I can simply click to select. But I think what I'll do is I will select that third one on the top row. We'll see how that looks. So as soon as I click on that, you'll see that PowerPoint applies that theme across all my slides. And now if I scroll down through the presentation just using page down, you will see how it looks. Now as it happens, I don't really like that one, so I'm going to change the theme. So all I need to do is go back to that theme selection, and this time I'm going to choose the one right at the bottom. Very simple blue and white theme, and let's scroll through that, see how that looks. Not too bad. That'll do for now. So there's the theme applied, which does most of my formatting for me. And I'm going to do a bit more on this final slide. I'm going to click actually on the edge of that box, and the first thing I'll do is make the text a lot bigger. If I come back to the Home tab, you'll see on the font section I've got font size and font type, and I've got these handy buttons here to increase and decrease the font size. I'm simply going to click the larger A to increase the font size, and you see what happens. If the text moves a bit too far over to one side, you can simply drag it back by putting the mouse on the edge. However, what I like to do is position one side of the text box on the left side. You can then put your mouse pointer on the right, in the middle, on the drag handle, drag it all the way to the right. And by doing that, you can then center the text on the slide, which makes it look a bit nicer. I can maybe make it bold as well, and a little bit bigger as well. Make it really stand out. Whoops, a bit too far. Let's come back one. And click away to see how it looks. That's fine. Just reposition that. That'll do for my final slide. Come back to the first slide, and again here I can resize these if I want to within the theme, so make my Sweet Store much bigger. Same again for the second box, and so on and so forth. So I'll leave the other slides for now, that's okay. And one thing we do need to add is some images. I'll leave slide 1 as it is. Slide number 2, we need some donuts on there, so I'm going to go to the Insert tab. I'm going to choose Clip Art. When you do use Clip Art, just make sure that you have all media types selected. You can get rid of video and audio if you want to, but I always leave it as all media types. And we're going to search for donuts. So let's see what we have. Again, I also include online content, so I get the latest clip art. And here's a selection of donut graphics I can choose. Let's find something suitable. I think I'll just go for that box there. There's a few ways I can apply it. If I simply click on the clip art, it transfers the artwork to my slide. Let's just reposition that down the bottom right there. That's fine, nothing too fancy. So next slide, like an image for that as well. And this time we're looking for ice cream. Just hit the enter key. There's a suitable ice cream image. Again, just click on that and it will transfer that to my slide. That's obviously coming from the website. That's quite large, so I'm going to shrink that down. Again, just click on the top right drag handle there, reduce the size of the image so it's suitable for my slide. Just position it over to the right there. And let's come down to the next slide. And here we want some soda. So again, just type in soda, hit the enter key. Let's just scroll down through these images, see if we can find something suitable. There's a nice one. Just click on that. Again, it transfers from the online server to my local slideshow, and just resize that again. Click top right drag, position over in the bottom right. That will do nicely. And on the final slide, I will just leave that again without an image. So scroll right back to the top of the show, just use the page down key, and you can now see those slides with the images. I'm not trying to win any design awards here, just giving you an idea of how you can put your show together. So that's fine. I can close down my clip art window now. And the next thing I'd like to do is add some animations to my presentation. So I'm going to come to slide number 2, and what I'm going to do here is simply click on the edge of that slide, go to the Animations tab and choose the Fly In option. And you'll see straight away what happens when I put the mouse over. You can also have Float In if you would rather have that, which actually that looks quite nice. I'll go for Float In, so I'm going to select that, and you'll see what happens when the slide runs. And I'll go and apply the same animation to the next slide. So again, just click on the edge of that text box, choose Float In, and we'll do the same thing to slide number 4. Again, just click on the edge of the text box so all the content is included. Choose Float In again, and there we are. That'll do, I think. So let's go back to the beginning and run that show. You can actually run the show from the beginning using a keyboard shortcut, and here I'm going to press the F5 key to run the show, and we'll see it with the animations. So here we are in the presentation, and to navigate through there's a variety of ways you can do that. You can use the arrow keys on the keyboard, so you can use the down arrow key, and to return you can use the up arrow key. You can also use the right arrow key to go forward and the left arrow key to go back. You can use page down to go forward, page up to go back, and you can also use the space bar to navigate through the presentation like so. With the mouse you can use the left button to go forward, and if you use the right button you get a shortcut menu and you have a variety of navigation options, one of which is previous, and you can also choose next. Now you wouldn't normally do that because it would bring up a menu on the screen and that would obviously distract your viewers, so it'd be far better just using the left button to go forward and use one of the keyboard shortcuts, say the up arrow, to go backwards. Now then, you can also use the home key, so if you've been experimenting as I've been doing there, the home key will take you back to the beginning of the presentation, and I'll simply use the page down key just to go through the entire presentation so you can see the result. And there the animations working as they should do, and obviously you're in control of the presentation by having these bullet points come in one by one rather than have them all on the screen at the same time. So there we are, just slowly work through to the end, and there's the final slide. Once the presentation is complete, simply press the escape key and that will take you back into PowerPoint editing mode. So there we are, that's the process of creating a simple PowerPoint slideshow, entering the text, applying formatting, applying animations, and running the show. And finally I'm going to save the presentation. Just press the F12 key and you can see it automatically puts the name which it takes from the title slide, which is fine, the Sweet Store. I'll simply click on save and that is now saved away, ready for me to modify at some future point. So I hope you found that overview helpful. In future tutorials I'll be going through the various aspects of PowerPoint in much more detail and help you to create some professional and engaging presentations, I hope. So thank you very much for watching this, and I will see you next time.